Welcome to the show, and welcome to Glow So Bright. In today's episode, I'll show off the Zhongzhou Machine Works PW-87 12-gauge shotgun as imported by Century Arms and distributed also in America as the Dominion Arms 1887. It is a 12-gauge shotgun, it's quite interesting, and let's go and check it out. So let's go over the features and history of the shotgun over here. So, we have a 19-inch cylinder bore barrel, which can only take 2 3/4-inch shells and lead shot only. Has a 5-shot tube, giving the shotgun a potential capacity of 7. 5 in the tube, 1 that rides on top of the shell carrier over here, and 1 in the chamber. And it has a hammer, which is a bit shrouded by the lever loop assembly over here. This is a very interesting shotgun because of its pop culture relevancy. It's one of the first commercially successful repeating shotgun designs out there, and it's one of John Moses Browning designs, which he begrudgingly made for the Winchester Repeating Arms Company. Browning insisted that a slide or pump action shotgun would be more robust and a better design overall, but Winchester at the time insisted that all of their weapons will be lever action guns. So, begrudgingly, Browning obliged and made this, the 1887, which was originally chambered for 12-gauge black powder cartridges. Now, what's interesting about these design sort of cues for the PW-87 over here, this modern Chinese shotgun, is that it has a hinged lever loop, which is like that of a later revision of the 1887, released by Winchester, called the Winchester Model 1901. Now, the 1901 is a update to the 1887 design, adapted for the use of 10-gauge smokeless shells to avoid overlap in competition with the 1897 shotgun. However, when having this sort of design be updated and adapted for 12-gauge modern smokeless cartridges, this sort of design, an already flawed design, has been made a lot worse due to rough machining and incorrect engineering. Let's get to that. Let's go do some shooting. Okay, so how does our shotgun shoot over here? So we're at 10 yards away. We have 3 silhouettes over here with a point of aim marker at the center. And we have 3 cartridges of Winchester Super X 8 pellet double-aught buckshot 12-gauge 2 3/4-inch shells. A very common load, a very standard load, and quite appropriate for this Winchester design over here to use Winchester ammo. So let's go and shoot these 3 targets. So, our last ever round gets hung up on our extractor over here. That is annoying. Here we have our leftmost target over here. And we can see that all our 9 pellets over here have a point of impact to the right, or the target's left. And it's completely off center and away from the A zone. And at 10 yards, that's not good, especially for this sort of close of a range. Let's see our other 2 targets. Okay, we're at a center target, and we still have the same sort of pattern over here. We have our own rightmost bias for our point of impact. Similarly, with our rightmost target. Over at our rightmost target, same sort of point of impact as manifested by this particular shotgun over here, where each shot we have with basic, commonly available, decent quality 12-gauge ammunition hits to the right. How does that compare to shooting this shotgun at range with slugs? Let's go find out. Okay, we've established that with our point of impact being slightly to the right, even at fairly close ranges with decent quality 9 pellet double-aught buck, what happens if we go further out to 50 yards and use slugs? So we have Winchester Super X 12 gauge 2 3/4 1 ounce rifled hollow point slug. And let's go and test it with our 1887 and have our point of aim be our point of impact. So center mass of a 2/3 12 by 20 inch steel target. And I missed. Impact is to the right. One thing I did notice is that now functioned, is that with a pretty tall bore and our stock being quite low, it exacerbates recoil and makes it a very unpleasant shooting experience with full powered loads. So let's go load another slug into this and aim to the left. And I still missed. I aimed about 10 inches to the left of center and missed the target. It's really difficult to get these shells out of here. Okay, I have one more Winchester slug left. I'll go aim a full target to the left. And I overcorrected myself and went to the left, so I missed. But yeah, this shotgun isn't good for extended ranges where you need a single projectile to hit the target. May as well stick with multiple shot type of shotgun cartridges, but even then, this is kind of a problem. Okay, the manual of arms for the 1887 is a bit unconventional compared to other shotguns. So, to feed into the magazine tube, you need to do a reverse scoop mute motion. You have to put the shell in vertically and then feed it into the tube until it positively clicks. And you may need to go wear gloves for this one because the insides are pretty sharp. Pipe goes in a tube. And now we're ready to go. Let's go try and shoot a few, then attempt to top it off. Same problem again. Let's go shoot a full magazine of 7. And it jammed. This isn't a good shotgun. Looks like we have a primer struck, but not wanting to extract. Another thing is that administratively clearing the shotgun is a headache to do so. So we have a shotgun shell stuck in a chamber. Let's clear it and get on with the show. One thing about the Winchester 1887 design, and by extension the PW-87, is that it cannot facilitate top loading, or cannot easily facilitate top loading. What is top loading? Well, in tube-fed shotguns, such as this Winchester 1897 over here, which is the successor to the 1887, I know it's technically the 1893, but this one can fully accept modern ammunition, modern smokeless ammunition, and the 1893 had a total recall due to smokeless cartridges appearing in the market in common use, and the 1893 not being able to handle smokeless cartridges, but I digress. So top-off loading is that when a tube-fed shotgun or firearm is partially empty, is that when there is a lull in shooting, that the operator can top off the shotgun to full capacity and be able to go and continue shooting. So let's go demonstrate it with this particular shotgun over here, the Winchester 1897. This is an original one, by the way. So while I only have fired a few rounds, I will top off the shotgun to its full capacity over here. And now that the shotgun's full, it is topped off. Let's go shoot the rest. A little bit of a hiccup, but it still ran. This is a Mossberg 500 shotgun. This also is a pump action shotgun, and it is probably one of the most, if not the most popular shotguns available, especially in the United States. So it also does have top-off loading and a very similar manual of arms to our old Winchester 1897 pump shotgun. Let's go do some top-off loading with this particular shotgun over here. This one ran flawlessly. Okay, let's see how the PW-87 handles top-off loading. Fully loaded, 7 total in the gun. Let's go shoot. And it jammed again. Failure to extract. Okay, let's try again. And it still is jamming. Okay, I'm gonna go and field strip the PW-87 shotgun, disassemble it, clean it, and reassemble it. Unfortunately, it's not a toolless design, and some tools are going to be needed to go and field strip it. The parts removed from the firearm for field stripping include the left and right cartridge guide screw, breech assembly, hammer, left and right cartridge guides, and the lever axle pin. Henan Zhangzhou Machine Works, also known as Henan Zhangzhou Machinery Factory, aka Factory 396, was part of China South Industries Group Corporation, which is an entity under the Chinese Communist Party's military-industrial complex, which was established in 1980 alongside other, their different wings or entities or branches, just for the perception of creating a company for global export and trade, very similar to, say, Polytech or Norenco.
where historically, Factory 396 would make stuff such as heavy punch underwater guns, M2 carbine copies, 14.5mm double barrel anti-aircraft machine guns, Type 59 large caliber pistols, which I presume to be a licensed manufacturer version of the Makarov PM pistol, grenade launchers, 7.62 centerfire guns, and other military and defense products. Currently, right now, a lot of the products they sell or can be acquired in the international market would be things such as air rifles, airsoft guns, gel blasters, shotguns, rimfire rifles, and a few other types of firearms as well. Many of these products can be found in stores you'd find today. Crossman airsoft guns and air guns in a Walmart or a sporting goods section, for example. Century armed shotguns found in a gun store, among other products. So, the reliability of the PW-87 is something that I really don't like. The whole thing, due to it being assembled with screws, they tend to back out under the heavy recoil of it being a shotgun. And I've been having all sorts of malfunctions with it. Holes being stuck inside the chamber after firing, the shotgun not wanting to cycle with the magazine tube backing out, or the retention tube backing out of the magazine tube, which makes it no longer secure, and not cycling, among several other problems. The design flaws of it, from Browning's original conception to it being transcribed into a 12-gauge conversion by the Chinese, questionable fit and finish, shooting to the right consistently and not on center, makes this quite an aggravating shotgun to use. So, I really don't recommend it.
So it's self-admitted design flaws by John Moses Browning and a bad interpretation of rechambering it by Zhangzhou Machine Works in their engineering of it. The Century Arms PW-87 is something that I do not recommend. Sure, a lever-action shotgun seems really neat for both cowboy reenactment as well as reenacting the Terminator 2 movie or Modern Warfare 2 or other pieces of media, but this is so aggravating and frustrating. Doesn't really offer anything practical over its later contemporaries, such as the Winchester 1897, nor does it have the reliability of a single or double barrel shotgun. This thing has rough fit and finish, has been giving me numerous headaches, and I don't recommend this at all. And sorry, I can't even get through all the B-roll the footage I really want because of this thing giving me some reliability headaches. But if you do enjoy this video, brought to you by Glow So Bright on the PW-87 shotgun, go ahead, give it a like. If you don't, give it a dislike. Read the video description, comment down below what you think, and if you'd like to see more content just like this, go ahead and share and subscribe. Sharing and subscribing is the best way to support the channel, but another way to greatly help the channel is through Ko-fi and Subscribestar. Those are options if you want to go and monetarily support the channel, which I greatly support. But, as always, thank you very much for watching. But yeah, Modern Warfare 2 used to be based until it's cringe. And also, if you want to look up on Spincock, go look at it on images of Google Photos, Google Images, and turn off this filter, the Safe Search filter. Thank you very much for watching. Okay, it works.